What's up, you guys? Day 7 of the build. We're in the shop at lunch right now. The boys kind of took this day off. It's Friday, not a whole lot going on, but we did get the Nitrous plate from Nitrous outlet put on the intake. Check it out. It's a throttle body plate. I think the boys have to do some finagling. We got to spin it around for the throttle body to match up perfectly. But other than that, what you see is what you get. Shout out to Nitrous outlet for sending us the kit. We're pretty pumped on this one. Everything escalated pretty quickly. We were just gonna keep it naturally aspirated, but Justin, being who Justin is, knowing the guys at Nitrous outlet and the way the relationship has kind of came together for us, we're gonna put this little baby on a sniff and see what she does. So tune in. This will kind of be the last check-in for day 7. We're not doing anything else today at all. Not doing anything on this weekend. We're gonna kind of enjoy it. Tomorrow we're racing at Little River with Justin, so I'll be filming some stuff on that. So tune in later or earlier, depending on when I release that video. That'll be out soon too. Other than that, guys, stay tuned. All right, y'all, kind of lied. The boys, I guess after I left, came in and did a bunch of work on the car. Not a bunch, but they did enough that it looks a little bit different than the last time you guys saw it. So while I was eating, they decided to come in here, cut the air intake in, put it in the bumper. Gonna kind of look like a turbo car now, so it's gonna be funny because people are gonna be looking, thinking that it's a turbo car. Wouldn't you agree?
It's different.
It's definitely different. So yeah, I think, and I say I think, I use that very lightly, that this is it for day 7. Don't really know yet.
I hope they put a velocity stack on there, because that just looks weird.
No, they do.
Oh.
It's right there.
Oh.
Yep, they're gonna put that on the outside. But yeah, this is the end of day 7. They should be done for now. I know that they're kind of getting a couple of these fittings plumbed up and seeing how long for all the tubes and whatnot. But other than that, they did find a place for the standalone fuel system. But yeah, I think we're getting to a good spot. We're done, we're calling it. I'm ready to go home, ready for the boys to leave this alone so I can actually get to editing. But yeah, 17, 16, 15 days, somewhere in that ballpark, giving us 2 days to round, but we're almost done. It's Monday, we're all super tired. But the boys are cutting the holes, getting the Holly wiring harness, and getting that whole system plumbed in. This weekend at Little River didn't go as planned. We had some weather, and as you can see what's on the back, we had some troubles with the blue car. So later today, we're actually gonna rip the motor out of that. We've got the air intake cut in. They're finishing up some of that. The Holly system currently sits right here, but we're cutting holes in the firewall, and we'll get all that squared away in a minute.
More holes.
Andy did just tell me we have 11 days. Should have the motor. What are we thinking, Justin? We should fire the motor into this week?
What?
Will we have the motor started into this week?
I said by the end of the week we should have oil pressure into the week.
Currently dropping the motor oil.
I'm not quite sure what happened to it because we're looking and there's no, doesn't look like there's any metal in the oil. Another thing that we looked at the torque converter bolts and everything up there, flywheel bolts, they weren't knocking loose. Sometimes they do come loose on us, but we check those all the time. But I'm kind of under the assumption at this point that possibly fuel injector issue caused the engine to flood and bent a rod. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of methanol in there. So
I hope it didn't bend the rod.
I got 5 at the house ready to go.
For this one?
Yeah.
Oh, deal. Well, you heard it here first. If it's a bent rod, we should be back up and running. Maybe. If it's anything worse, thank God we got the machine shop and the backing of Texas Speed for what we do with this car. So we'll get Justin back on the road in no time. But yeah,
this car has to be ready in 11 days as well because we're running them both, so.
4 days? Oh, I lied. We have 4 days to get this car ready, tested.
Don't worry, let me do it in. This is so dope.
Well,
None of us are race car builders, all right?
Yeah.
We have very special things that we do, machinists and or salesmen or different things like that. So.
I was like, we know about this right here. This we got taken care of all day long. All this stuff, I mean, you see my man's wearing a fishbowl in there, so. But kind of take us through with what we're sizing up and what we got going on.
We're gonna put a big turbo right here. No, I'm just playing. This is our over radiator intake, so it's gonna come over the radiator through here, and then the intake will be straight through here. So that's where the intake tube will go, and we're gonna get a lot of weird looks and questions on why it's like that, but that's where it's gonna be at. And then we just gotta cut some of the radiator support, make sure the radiator fits with that over radiator intake, because it was designed for Holly high ram. So we've been cutting it up and trying to fit it back to fit the TSP Titan intake manifold. So with that being said, we got a lot of cutting and things to do, get this right. But this is Justin's old burned down box. I call it a catch can, but burned out box. So it's in the rear of the car, and the tube would actually come out of the back of the car. They usually put them in the real serious drag cars in the rear, so if you do overfill this this catch can, it'll spill behind the tires, not in front of them. So with that being said, we're trying to modify this to make it our catch can as of right now, and we're just gonna cut it up and make something fit, so.
Deal.
And then we're gonna wire up the car, but I had some delays on the switch panel I ordered. They got lost in shipping. I called them yesterday and they said they'll have one to me Tuesday, so today's Monday, so tomorrow. So Wednesday we'll be able to actually wire up the switch panel and stuff. We also have a panel that goes right here that's gonna block all this stuff up. We got a lot of work to do, but we're getting somewhere.
So day 8, what are the predictions? What day are we gonna fire this bad boy up?
I'd say Friday.
It's Friday?
Friday, yeah, I'd hope so. Yeah, if I don't have, we'll see how it comes, but if I gotta take PTO and get this done, because like we said, we've been working on this after work. We haven't been working on it on the weekend, so technically, yeah, we've wasted like a few days. We've had 2-3 day weekends we didn't work on it. And
so Friday off.
Yeah, Friday off, and then the last Friday we took off as well. We just got a few little things done, but we have right now 11.5 days to finish this build, get it fired up, get it tuned, get it aligned, and address any situations that we have, because
that we can address.
Obviously, yeah, but even though the car can get fired up or whatever Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, there's always going to be some issues to address.
Right. All right, Bandy, what do we got going on with the shifter?
We're gonna cut it out. So originally the seat was like shifted way back. We're gonna mount it in the factory location because I'm really short. Well, not really short, but kind of short. And then with the seat being in the factory location, the shifter is like almost behind me. So now we're gonna take this shifter out. Since somebody welded it in, we gotta cut it out. And then we're gonna mount it forward and a little bit higher on a pedestal. That way I can shift a little bit easier. To just show, like, we're repurposing everything. This is a budget build. So Justin found a little pedestal at the house. We gotta clean it up, knock these welds off, and we're gonna repurpose this for the shifter and get it done.
That's about as that's about as certified as the roll cage was, eh?
I don't know. That's probably, yeah, about the same as the roll cage welds were.
Well, I mean, at least these welds are on the bar.
Yeah.
The welds for the roll cage,
they just fell off.
They were just there.
Got it. Just looking at the throttle body angle. The bottom of the throttle body.
Day 9 of the build series. We're wrapping up our work day. We finally got the suspension in. Everything we need to make that back end good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, this is actually shout out to Texas Pete for providing me with this stuff. They knew I needed this stuff. They ordered it for me, and even though it's not sponsored by that company, Spawn, these are actually pretty nice. These are beefy. So
here's definitely what we need.
yes, sir.
What we need. So we're gonna get this put up into the back end. We got man Nick back here getting her all set up.
Luckily, we already have this nice Midwest chassis torque on.
Oh yeah.
You just unbolt everything. We're gonna have to cut this relocation bracket out, and then we'll have to weld the new relocations brackets in place. And then these are brackets for the anti-roll bar. I don't know if they're in the correct location. We may have to cut these out. If y'all haven't known, past 2 days, the entire state of Texas has been covered in sheets of ice. So everything got delayed 2-3 days, and then they're gonna be backed up. So I'm assuming best case scenario, we'll get the switch panel tomorrow, if not Monday. And you know, this may turn into a last minute rush to get this thing done, and it may get dynoed Friday and race Saturday. You never know. So we got, we need a couple AN lines, AN fittings to finish the fuel system catch can.
Those are coming from Flow Supply.
Those are coming from Flow Supply, Nitrous outlet, and those should be here in a few days. We just ordered those, so that's not anybody's fault. It's just us delayed on ordering parts.
Right.
And then fixing the suspension stuff, and yeah, a few days we should have oil pressure and get this thing going. So we talk about finding things on project cars. So come on here on the inside. This bracket's welded. Go to the other side. I welded half the bracket.
And that's why this one broke off so easily.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? This is good. This is good. We only got to cut half of it. We only got to cut half of it.
Really easy to clean up. Almost as easy as the other side. If they at least had a bolt in the top,
It would have been better.
they could have maybe got away with it. They make a style that goes over to the shock mount that is supposed to keep it located better, but it could have easily twisted on them if it wasn't welded all the way. And that's what that one did, is just twist it off. It used to be
So it
there. They
used
just
to be
broke
there.
it off and then moved the wheel back up, or moved the control arm back up, which pushed the wheel backwards into the bumper or forwards.
So did the back end act like the back end sat crooked then?
It was crooked because they had to cut the rear bumper over here in order to make clearance. You can see where it was rubbing. And then on this side of the car, they trimmed the body side and it was rubbing in the front.
So the axle, it was sitting like this.
All right, so we grinded down the rear end, placed the relocation brackets up here, and now we installed the control arms that were on there so we can make sure it's somewhat centered, and we're gonna start welding this relocation bracket up. Then we'll pull those non-adjustable control arms out, place the adjustable control arms in, and then all we gotta worry about is the anti-roll bar. But the anti-roll bar does come with a clamp on around the axle clamp. But since these are already welded up, we're gonna try to just put the mount in here and see if it lines up correctly. So, I mean, either way works, but they do sell the kit that you don't have to weld. This one's already welded, so we're gonna try to use this stuff.
You
heard that? If you beat me, he ain't gonna be my friend no more. Justin, yeah, he said if I'm slow, I can't be his friend. Looking good. Looking good.
Day 9's coming to an end. The boys still got the car on the lift, but relocation brackets are welded up, anti-roll bar in, adjustable control arms in. Everything has welds on all the sides that it needs to be welded on. Everything that needs a bolt in it has a bolt in it.
And they're tight. They're tight.
Yep. So
we got a lot of adjusting to do though. We're gonna have to get this thing down, we're gonna have to lower it, we're gonna have to align it, toe plate it, and get everything adjusted because it's just kind of neutral right now.
right. But good ending point for day 9. We are back at it tomorrow. Weather is on our side. Finally, it's looking like it's supposed to warm up. This is gonna be the end of this episode. Tune in next time for the rest of the car. We've got a bunch to do.